Hello and welcome to my page, Kiki Shanae. I'm going to be teaching the ball cap method. Keep in mind, I am not a professional. I just do this as a hobby, and hopefully this helps someone. So first, I do pull it down. I usually would have pulled it all the way down in front of her face, but I didn't want to mess up her eyebrows and lashes. But I did pull it down pretty tight around everywhere. It is a smaller cap, so I pull it down so that I can see where her edges is at. And so when I go in with the got to be, I'm outlining her edges so that when I do go to cut the cap, that I'm making sure that the cap is covering her full edges. Because we don't want nobody losing edges over here. The most important thing about this method is that it's supposed to be a protective style to protect your edges. So as I'm outlining with the got to be, I'm seeing where her edges is so that when I do lay the glue, I lay it in front of her edges and not directly on her edges. I mean, sometimes it may get on there, but that's why I tell them, make sure when you take it off, don't rip it off. You take it off like a quick weave, with oil and conditioner and relax it out. So now I'm just drying it to make the progress, the steps faster. If you notice, as I'm blow drying it, I'm also holding down the side because sometimes you'll spray it, but the cap doesn't stick to the side of her head in front of her ear. What you want every part of the cap to fit because and be glued or smashed down to her forehead or her skin, because this is the protective method and we don't want even her sideburns to have glue or nothing in it. Prevent as much glue on their real hair as possible, especially that lace glue. Like, y'all know that tacky stuff takes forever and it's hard to get out sometimes. And just a small backtracker, I don't do anything fancy with the braids. I just do a couple braids straight to the back. I don't do them real big. I don't do them real small, just kind of medium. But then, as you can see, once I start cutting, I'm cutting directly right in front of her hairline. You see, I'm outlining her hairline, which every person hair that you do, no one is going to have the same hairline. It might be a little forward on the right or a little forward on the left, so you want to outline it to fit that person's hairline, which is why I do not like to do use another person's wig and put it back on them, because they might not have cut it like the way I like to have cut it or outline it to match that person's head, and I hate that. So like, if I'm installing a wig, it's because I installed it originally or because it's a brand new wig. I usually sew the cap in the back, tuck it and sew it in. But me and her, we like to lift our wig up when our scalp is itching and just go at it. So we're not going to do that. So now I'm just trying on the wig just to make sure that it's covering up the entire front of the wig cap, to make sure there's no wig cap showing. Like, before I even glue it down, before I even put makeup or anything, I just want to make sure that it's fit. That's why, once again, I don't like to do reinstalls from other people where I did not do the original install, because they might not have cut it like I did. So right there, she said that it kind of fit snug. So what I did was the two hooks in the back, I'm actually taking those two and tying it to make the wig just really, really snug. Don't pay attention to this. She just irritating, just playing in some other wigs. So, but the two snaps in the back, I just tied them really tight to make her wig really snug. So she actually could have did the glueless method, the way that the wig is so tight on her head, but we about to glue it down in the front. It's Thanksgiving. We don't want that wig to go nowhere tonight. And then when it comes to the glue, I just start at one side and work my way the other way. I put like the glue dots half on her scalp. I'm sorry, half on her forehead and half on the cap. Yeah. So I do half and half, like in the middle. And then I want to blend that glue out to a thin layer all the way around. And what I learned that I don't like, or you want to make sure, is that before you even start this, you want to make sure that your wig cap is cut all the way in the front. Like, don't be having those little stringies hanging or nothing, because then that's going to get caught up in the glue and it's just not going to be pretty. So you want to make sure that the wig cap is cut like a straight cut and doesn't have any loose strings hanging. So you definitely want to thin this lace glue out. A thin layer. You don't want it to be too thick. Like I said, we don't want no receding hairlines around here. See? It's thin. It's already drying that fast. And then when it comes to how many layers of glue, don't worry about that. It was the holiday. We needed it. But when it comes to how many layers of glue you put on the client's head, it depends on like where they're going or how long they want to keep it on. If it's temporary, one. If it's like they want it for like a week and a half to two, you do 2 layers. But if like they're going somewhere hot and humid and they want to keep it for a minute, that's where you want to do the 3 layers. For her, I think I'm only going to do 2 layers, I believe. But in between each thin layer of lace glue coat, you want to make sure it's dry all the way. You see, before I put that second layer, that the previous layer of white glue that I put on there was already dry. You know it's dry because it was clear. So now I'm just smoothing it in. I see some people use their fingers and hands. I really hate to touch this glue. So I use a different utensil every time, whether it's the edge of a comb, the edge of a razor, the edge of a chopstick, whatever around. I'm going to use it to smear in this glue. And once again, like I said, you want to make sure it is a thin layer. And when I put my dots down, I put it half on the cap and half on her forehead. And you just want to make sure that that layer is very, very thin. You know, just spread it out like some cake mix. And make sure you get the edges too. Because if this is a frontal, you want to make sure that the sides right in front of the ear has glue on it as well. So that that part of the sideburns on the wig is laying just as flat and flawless as the front of the wig. After I put the 2 layers of glue, you can either just sit there, wait, talk, or to speed up the process, just blow dry it. Whatever the client can stand. You know, if you want to do hot on high or medium on medium or whatever the case, just to speed up the process. And as you can see, as time is going by, it is drying to another clear layer. You know, make sure it's always dry and clear before adding another layer. And specifically, don't forget, before you add the wig, make sure it's dry. Now, a step that I did skip, I usually put the makeup on it before the glue. I don't know why I didn't do that, but put the makeup on before you put the lace glue. Like after you got to be it down and cut the cap, put the makeup on it and then put the lace glue. Or you could do this method. I guess it really don't matter, but I like to stick to what I know that works best for me. And this is a little something different. And what I didn't like about this step is that by me putting the glue on afterwards, some of the makeup got caught to the lace glue, and I kind of like had to scrape it off her forehead on the side. But it wasn't that bad, but it's still about to give that boa head look, baby. I use Kiss palette for the makeup. Shade, I think I used for her 11 or 12. I'm not sure, but I'll put it in the description box. And so since it's a frontal, I'm only doing the front of the cap, obviously. But if it was a closure, then I'll only do the middle, or wherever the part was at, I will only do that part. And then what you didn't see offline, or right there, yeah, I'm putting makeup, as you can see, on the inside of the wig, the where the lace is at. Flip the wig and put the makeup in there right there. And as a finished touch, you could spray some got to be on the inside so that the makeup don't move. I don't really do that. I just put a little makeup, especially in that part wherever I know her part is going to be, which I knew was the middle part. So I put a lot right there so that it can match the ball cap that she have on in her skin tone. And now I am just measuring to see if it look flawless with the wig before I actually stick it to the glue, making sure that it is blending in with her skin. You see that bald head? Y'all see that? Look at that in the front. That is that bald head method. And another step that I skipped just because I didn't have it is make sure you put skin protectant. Every time you wear this lace glue, put skin protectant. I know some of my clients have broke out from different glues. So I do ask, like, which glue would you prefer? Because each client, if you wear wigs, you know what glue works best for you. So I do have a few options. But I didn't have any skin protectant this time. So you make sure you want to give your client skin protectant. So now I'm just measuring it before I actually push it down to stick to her hair. And I see like some spots need more glue because obviously it's not sticking. So before I melt it with the melting band, of course you want to cut out the ears, make sure it's comfortable, make sure her ears is not sticking up under the wig. And just put a wig forward, add the glue where it needs to be added. It's like the glue always needs to be added on the sides right there. Maybe I need to add more glue next time, but it's like I always need to add glue right there. So add the glue. You know, you want to make sure that you blend the glue out into a thin layer and make sure it dry again, just like the first time we did. Wait till it get dry, clear. Or use the blow dryer so it can hurry up and make it. And then you want to put the wig onto the glue, and then you want to melt it. I did not record the rest of the video. I think I'm gonna stop right here at the bald cap method, I think. But as you can see, it's on there, it's tight. Put the melting band, Neferkey Hair Company. Let that melt for a minute, for about 5-10 minutes, or use a blow dryer to speed up the process. When you're done, it's usually like some tiny spots that need some glue. So usually I'll take like a rat tail comb, put a little bit of glue on a rat tail comb, and just fill in where that glue needs to be at, and then melt it again until it's just melting in her skin. Please like and subscribe, as I will have a new video up every week. This is what the melt looked like after I took the band off and filled in them small spots that needed glue. This is the final product. And once again, like and subscribe, as I will upload more videos soon. Thank you.